if you are interested in knowing more about the Montessori floor bed, then this is the right video for you. My name is Leslie. I am a Montessori certified guide, and I have been working in the Montessori classroom for 8 years. I am now a Montessori mama as well. I have a 13-month-old daughter, and I have been implementing Montessori at home even before she was born. I started to implement it from the moment I found out I was pregnant. You can find my family's Montessori at home journey and adventures on my Instagram. So now let's go ahead and get started with the Montessori floor bed. I'll get started by saying that this video is not related to sleep and Montessori. I think that is a whole different topic that I'll be covering soon, but we're gonna look at the importance of having a floor bed. So here we go. What does it look like? Now, a Montessori floor bed is basically just a mattress on the floor. Really, it depends on your comfort level, the type of space that you have, and the environment that you have. For my family, we have a crib bed that is just laying on the ground. Some might find it more comforting knowing that their mattress is laying on a mattress box so that it is elevated from the floor. Other people might have the preference to have a small railing on the sides of the bed and maybe just have a small portion that is open so that the child can freely get on and off. The number one reason why you want to consider implementing the Montessori floor bed is because it gives your child the freedom of movement. Now, freedom of movement is a Montessori core principle where Dr. Montessori believed that every child has this innate desire just to move and to learn about the world and explore the world through movement. With a crib, the child who is rolling will naturally be stopped by that railing. With a Montessori floor bed, the child rolls, then there is a consequence if they don't stop at the edge of the bed. If they keep rolling, then they will fall off the mattress. Some children at the very beginning might be a little startled by it, but with time, that is going to give them that natural consequence. It's going to give them the ability to critically think and start to implement cause and effect. When I roll off of my mattress, then I end up on the floor. Now, boundaries, critical thinking, cause and effect, those are all really life skills that a child needs. And so when we think about the floor bed and we think about the development of a child, what we are doing, Dr. Montessori said, is an aid to life. So we are giving them these tools so that they can start gaining these life skills. The second reason you want to consider a floor bed is because it encourages independence and it provides autonomy. Now, this is a big part of the Montessori philosophy. Again, what we are doing is an aid to life, and we want to give them the life skills that they need, not just for this stage of their development, but really for life. It gives your child the opportunities to have autonomy of their very own space. By getting in, on and off of the bed, they are able to choose when they get on, when they get off of their bed. With our daughter, now that she is 13 months, when it's bedtime, we have implemented her going to her mat all on her own. So we open the door, we read a few books in her bedroom, and then we say it's time to sleep. And so we turn off the lights, we close the blinds together, we do all of our routine, and then I set her on the floor and she crawls or walks into her very own bed. So it gives her the opportunity to feel empowered that she is choosing to go to her bed versus me, the mom, the adult, forcing her to go on her bed. Along with that, it helps them feel empowered knowing that this belongs to them, that this is their bed, that they have the freedom to choose to get on the bed when they're ready and to get off of the bed when they are all done with sleeping. The third reason you want to consider a floor bed is because it facilitates access to the room and various elements in the room. So for example, now that my daughter is 13 months old, in the morning when she wakes up, she has the ability to get off of her bed all on her own and start playing with some of the toys in her room or getting a book out. And of course, we're always keeping an eye on her on our baby monitor. And so it's been really neat to see that now when she wakes up, she goes straight into independent play because she has access to it. This gives us, the adults, the opportunity to know that she's going to be in her bed, in her room for about 15 minutes or so after she wakes up. And so it kind of gives us a head start in the morning to know, okay, I have 15 minutes to quickly move around and make breakfast, pack my lunch for work, and all of those things. So it gives your child that opportunity to start practicing that independent play and practicing how to go and access the things that are in their room. And of course, everything in the room should be at their eye level, and of course, everything should be child-proofed to be in a very safe environment. So let's think about an infant who has been in a crib for the first 10, 11, 12 months. They are probably very comfortable with their space, right? They've created this comfort zone, they know their crib, and the moment that you transition and you take the crib away and you put them on a mattress, that can be pretty shocking for a child. So this might translate into a child having interrupted sleep, feeling a little bit more fuzzy throughout the night. There's a sense of anxiety, uncertainty of not knowing this new space. And so implementing the Montessori floor bed from the very beginning is going to avoid any of those big transitions that might cause your child to feel stressed. And if your child is feeling stressed and feeling a little bit more anxious and just feeling more fuzzy throughout the night, guess whose sleep is also going to be interrupted? Your sleep, the adult sleep. You're also going to be brought into this environment of feeling nervous and stressed about this big transition. So when should you start to introduce the floor bed? Well, a lot of it is going to depend on your comfort level as a parent. For us as a family, we decided to implement the floor bed immediately from birth. And so at the very beginning, when she was an infant, she was about 2-3 months, we started to just place her on her mattress just to get her comfortable with her environment. We were, of course, next to her, and we would do it for 2-3 minutes. And then we would go on with our day, and we would come back in the next 3-4 hours and just place her on there for 2 to 3 minutes, just so she can start getting used to the environment, what she was seeing. And so when she was about 5 months, 6 months, we started to do nap times in her floor bed. At that time, she wasn't quite rolling, she wasn't quite crawling, and so we were very comfortable with just laying her there, of course, in a very safe way, without any blankets and without any pillows, and watching her on that baby monitor. So eventually, when she was comfortable with her naps, we started to have her start her bedtime routine in her room, and we would take her to her mattress, to her floor bed, and eventually that started to increase the time that she was spending in her floor bed. And eventually we got to the point where she slept in her floor bed throughout the night. And now at 13 months, all of that hard work has really paid off because she's sleeping in her own room, in her floor bed. She's independent enough to know her boundaries. When she rolls too much, she's gonna fall off. And she's also able to get up on her own when she is ready to be awake for the day, and she starts to play independently. And now, most recently, she has been walking to the door, and she has been banging on the door, calling for mama, papa, mama. And so that's our cue that she's 100% ready for us to come into the room. But all of that happened with time. It didn't happen overnight, and we didn't do it cold turkey. The reason for that is because we want to respect the development of the child. And so this is a beautiful way of being able to respect the natural development of your child when it comes to the floor bed. And so this is part of a child's prepared environment. It takes a little bit of thought process on our part, but it's a beautiful way of being able to introduce the floor bed to your child. Oh, and another added benefit that I forgot to add in is that it gives you, the adult, the access to go in and lay next to your child. When my daughter wakes up in the middle of the night, my husband or I, we go in and we just lay down next to her, and most of the time we end up falling asleep there with her, but she's on her bed. We're able to just cover hub and walk away when she's asleep, and we close the door. So it's been a beautiful way of also having access to napping with her and holding her hand while she sleeps, having that there isn't any barriers. And so it's been a beautiful way to connect with her and build that bond. Well, those are some reasons for you to consider why you should implement the Montessori floor bed from the very beginning, and the importance of the Montessori floor bed. I hope this video has been helpful. Please go find me on Instagram, where I share lots of tidbits about our family, Montessori life, and more of my daily life. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.